right, football fans, we're back to talk about Euro 2024. We're talking European football, some of the best football in the world. And we're going to jump into the first match week, a very exciting match week it was. Some expectations were met, some were exceeded, some weren't exceeded, and there's already some controversy. And we're going to jump in. But before we do that, I want to give you all some discount codes. First, SeatGeek. So SeatGeek is a site where you get event tickets to concerts, sporting events, comedy shows, anything that require tickets to attend. You can probably get them through SeatGeek. So go to SeatGeek.com and use the code FOOTBALLVFOOTBALL, the name of this podcast, to get $20 off. I'm sure that'd be a big help. And the next discount code is for Huega House. And now they have premium hats and shirts and even tote bags. If you go to HugaHouse.com, you save 15% if you use the promo code BALL. And I'll also include both of those in the description for Huega House. You can use a direct link to get the discount. I think you're going to like some of their stuff as well. It's been rocked by a lot of athletes, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, and many people you see in the public at this point. It's a great brand. It's a Scandinavian brand. It espouses the Huega aesthetic. Just really cool stuff. So I think you guys will like it for yourself or for gifts. And then, of course, use SeatGeek for a lot of great event tickets. But we're going to jump right in to the games here. The first game was Germany versus Scotland. And in this one, Germany completely outclassed Scotland. They were crisp on offense, and Scotland's defense was just so poor, even though so many of them, were stacked in the back. There was sometimes 6 or 7 guys in the back, but they still couldn't do anything. Wirtz and Füllkrug are two new names to the German national team, but that country just pumps out offensive stars. And Scotland didn't really cobble together a real chance until the 87th minute when Rudiger ended up scoring an own goal off a deflection. So he did the scoring as well. Of course, the German did Scotland's only scoring. Jamal Musiala, Emre Can both got in the mix as well. And Germany ended up winning this one 5-1. It could have been 6-1 if they gave Füllkrug his brace. He put one in the net, but it was called back. And one thing I'll say about Scotland's goalie, this is the Football v Football podcast. He looks like Philadelphia Eagles coach Nick Sirianni. Tell me I'm wrong. But that did it for this game. The next game in Group A, I believe, was Hungary and Switzerland. This was a much more competitive game than the Germany-Scotland game, despite the scoreline. Both teams have strong offenses. Service from Hungary on set pieces, very good, and Szoboszlai showed his class, and Varga scored one. The rest were stopped by a very good keeper. And if you watch this game, you heard the name Vargas often. It's because both of them had forwards named Vargas. A little bit puzzling for these countries, Hungary and Switzerland. Vargas I've known as a Latin name, but they were on Hungary and Switzerland. I liked Duat scoring for Switzerland. What a name there. Then Avisha, a fantastic golazo. And then the third one for Switzerland was Embolo, sealed it at the end, even after his knee sleeve came off, but still chipped it over the keeper to seal this one. And Switzerland cruised toward a victory. The next match, Spain versus Croatia. This was a fun game, but Spain just outstanding first half, showing their scoring prowess with the great tournament player, Morata. This guy steps up during tournaments. Did the same thing in the World Cup, just has a nose for the goal. And then Fabian Ruiz, amazing footwork and finish. And, of course, Carvajal, the Real Madrid man, finished the half off, and it was 3-0, just like that. Spain over Croatia. And there was no coming back from that. But, Croatia, they're not bad, But the difference is their stars are just older. You know, they have Modric and Perisic, and one of the big offensive weapons is a defender in Gvardiol. Um, there was a penalty awarded to Croatia that was saved by the Spanish keeper. Great day for Simon and the Spanish defense in general. They fly around, sacrificing their bodies. And Cucurella even was good to see some spirit out of him. He's gone way downhill in the EPL. If you watched him in his move from Brighton to Chelsea, that guy used to be a great player, but he's really gone downhill. But man, Spain is just stacked at keeper. You know, if Raya can be on the bench, I think Raya is one of the greatest keepers in the world. And if you can afford to put him on the bench, then you know you're absolutely stacked at keeper. So this was an easy win for Spain, 3-0 over Croatia. Next game was Italy and Albania. We saw on social media a lot of the Albanians breaking the spaghetti in front of the Italians. A lot of that funny stuff going on. First thing I'll say is it was amazing to see our Muslim brothers in Albania. Those fans go insane after that first goal in the first 30 seconds by Barami. Could have really set the tone for the game, but Albania's defense was pretty poor. Kept getting the ball stolen from them, and Italy was just efficient on offense. Scored 2 goals within the first 16 minutes by Bastoni and Barella, and they kept applying pressure all game. The Albania keeper was great, but you know, he did allow those two. Didn't allow anything the rest of the game. The Albanian offense really had nothing until the last desperate minutes of the game, where they missed a goal by a very small margin when it glanced off the keeper. But otherwise, their shots were mostly off, and Italy wins this one 2-1. Then we had Poland and the Netherlands. Exciting game, very balanced, with both teams getting as many chances. Lewandowski, he was the story. He was out for this game for Poland. But still, Poland held their own, I'd say significantly. Scored the opening goal off a set piece with Buksa. Both keepers were fantastic. You know, Szczesny, of course, the known keeper for Poland, and Verbruggen for Holland, as I like to call him. But it was Gakpo that scored off a deflection, and of course another guy that steps up during tournaments, Wout Weghorst. What does he do in the English Premier League and in the second league? Not much, but he is known for being amazing during tournaments. He did the same thing in the World Cup. And he scored the game winner here in the 84th minute. Memphis Depay was just off all game. You know, he created chances, but really lacked efficiency. And one of my big takeaways from this one was if Lewandowski was fit, I think this would have easily been a draw or a Polish win. Moving on now to Slovenia versus Denmark. The Danish dominated the first half, and in particular, the man who essentially they say died and came back to life, Christian Eriksen. He was everywhere, scoring the goal, scoring a goal for Denmark, creating chances, missing chances. You know, like I said, scoring the goal, and you know, there's another point where Denmark missed another big opportunity with Højbjerg and Højlund. But man, in the second half, Slovenia really came alive with some brilliant play and finally capitalized with an amazing Janza goal. Slight deflection, but you know, from some distance, and was a real dagger. They could have won this one, and you know, credit to their keeper, Jan Oblak, made a lot of really big stops. Moving on to one of the more frustrating games, England and Serbia. My biggest issue here is with, of course, the manager, Gareth Southgate. And it always has been. His rotations are dreadful. He doesn't make good in game adjustments, and if Foden isn't doing anything, you got to take him out. Same for Kane. All right, Harry Kane is not immune to being taken out of games, and especially when you have guys like Cole Palmer, you keep him on your bench. I mean, he was a goal scoring machine in the Premier League with 22 goals this season, second right after Holland, and he didn't even play all the games for them. Watkins on your bench, even Tony. You keep all those guys on your bench, and you put Jared Bowen in, who he was okay. He had one chance, but you also bring a guy like a really really young guy like Mainu, and you put him in over a lot of these more established guys that can help you immediately. In my opinion, it's severe mismanagement, and Serbia was threatening all game. Mitrovic should have scored the opening goal, honestly. And if it wasn't for a good tip save from Pickford, it would have been a clear draw with a team that you have no business even keeping the game close with. And even if you look at the big picture and you zoom out a little bit, Southgate putting Trent in midfield, bringing Gallagher in, and while Pickford is okay, is he really your best keeper option? Is he better than Ramsdale? And why are you not picking Nick Pope to even make the squad? I think all these decisions are really, really questionable. Turning the attention to the goal scorer of this game, the goal was scored by Bellingham, set up by Saka. It was a good goal. Bellingham is a great player, but I'll also say that he kind of seems like a punk out there, bumping into people, shouting in their face, and Serbia ended up really going after him, trying to hurt him, and I think he's going to get himself into some trouble if he doesn't start to rein in some of this attitude, because he was really kind of rubbing it in Serbia's face. So we'll see where this team goes from here. They're one of the more exciting teams to follow. England is. Moving to the next game, Romania and Ukraine. An incredible first half for Romania. Two of the sweetest goals you'll see, both outside the penalty box from distance. Stanciu and Marin, man, amazing. The former is a great player and had even more chances than that, and almost scored directly from a corner. That was a thing of beauty as well. Hit the post, and the latter, they said his shot that scored hit 100 kilometers an hour. So this tandem is really fun to watch. And Dragus then put the nail in the coffin with the third goal, and it was 3-0 Romania over Ukraine. Ukraine did have some solid chances, especially in the final third of the game, but that Romanian goalie, Nita, was diving everywhere for saves. Tremendous. And again for Ukraine, Mudryk, despite his hype and his speed, did nothing. Moving on now to Belgium and Slovakia. What a game this was. This might be the game where I deviate most from popular opinion here. Belgium won this game, and Lukaku scored twice. Yeah, he scored twice. Those calls by the officials were so ticky-tack, it's ridiculous. The offside, okay, I get it. It's maybe by a centimeter or two, but the second one, where the ball coincidentally bounces onto the winger's hand and the build-up, which gave them no advantage, to take that away is really criminal. And then the abuse Lukaku got online, calling him Lukaku. I mean, come on. He was the player of this game. No one played better than him, and scored more and put more shots on goal. But of course, you know the score of this game. Slovakia won 1-0, even though Lukaku scored twice. Another guy for Belgium, I have to give some credit to, Doku. He was very, very good. He had that one run from defense to the goal all by himself, evading defenders and tackles, and it was spectacular. But then, at the end, passed it to a teammate right before scoring, and he flubbed the chance. I think that might have been Trossard. But Doku is great. But the rest of Belgium barely contributed. KDB again comes up invisible for Belgium. What a delta between how he plays for Man City and his national team. It's just unbelievable. Um, Trossard made one contribution, and that was about it. Um, Slovakia's goal was pretty much just taking advantage of a Belgian mistake on defense. You know, listen, I'll give credit to them. They capitalized and managed to defend enough the rest of the game to pull off a massive upset. And it wasn't their fault. You know, they take the win, but it was unlucky for Lukaku and, you know, overly litigious on the officials, taking away these moments from us. Um, and when you step back, you can't help but draw the parallels between England and Belgium. Always among the most talented, never seem to have success for whatever reason. Moving on now to France and Austria. France, another favorite in this tournament. This was a bizarre game. Not efficient or crisp at all. France got bloody twice without any real malicious intent from Austria. Griezmann, cut open his head on the boundary, and Mbappe broke his nose on a follow-through of a header. Again, wasn't malicious by Austria. The one goal that was scored in this game, France won 1-0, was an own goal, but of course Mbappe, before breaking his nose, was the best guy on the pitch. Tried, the setup that resulted in the own goal by Vober, I think his name is. Had some solid chances, but just wasn't crisp. Same with Giroud and everyone else on France. Austria didn't pose much of a threat, but neither did France, surprisingly. And if Mbappe's broken nose hinders him at all, I fear France won't do much in this tournament relative to their expectations. Next, on the final game day, today we had Turkey against Georgia, and this was an amazing game. Best of the tournament so far. Georgia's first ever game in the Euros, and more importantly, do not underestimate how well Turkey can do in this tournament, because that game might as well have been in Istanbul. That crowd was all Turkish, booing and hissing every time Georgia had the ball and going nuts every time Turkey scored. So many great chances by both teams. Georgia off, the post and deflections, and scoring that one goal in the first half by George. But Turkey's first two goals, man, oh man. Muldur and especially Arda Güler, absolute things of beauty. And it's so fun to see, soccer in the rain like that, and the different aesthetic it gives. It was just so cool. Then the final goal, kind of puzzling decision, some might say, by Georgia to bring their keeper up on the set piece when you're just down 2-1 in a match, in match play. It gave Turkey a free goal at the very end. It's going to hurt Georgia in goal differential in what might be kind of a tight group. I see kind of why Georgia was going for it, maybe the excitement of their first tournament, but in hindsight, ended up being a bad decision. Turkey win this one 3-1. And the final game of the first week of match play was Portugal versus Czechia. My main takeaway from this game is Portugal is now my favorite to win this tournament. Another really fun game in the rain. This day was, like I mentioned, the best day of the tourney so far. The depth of Portugal is absolutely crazy. Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, Leao, Cancelo, Vitinha. And then off the bench, you have Pedro Neto and Diogo Jota. And the scariest part of this is none of those guys even had to score in this one for them to still win 2-1. Those goals came from an own goal and Cancelo. The first half, Portugal was dominating, playing very aesthetically pleasing. And then Czechia had a little comeback in the second half. It looked like Portugal didn't come out of halftime with urgency. And listen, that was a great goal by Provod to take the lead. And they were up 1-0, but, and then Souček again had another chance for Czechia, but then Portugal just locked in and won this one in the second half. Really, really look forward to watching Portugal the rest of the tournament. They're going to be a very exciting team. So, that was a quick reaction to the first match week, something I'm really looking forward to now. Some of the teams that are standing out to me, Portugal is going to, like I said, going to be very fun to watch. Turkey, England, France. England and France had big disappointments. So did Belgium. Spain's going to be fun to watch. A lot of these teams are going to be really fun to watch. Romania has some great players. Are these teams that lost and didn't look good? Will they rebound? The second match week starts today, and I think we're all really looking forward to it. Thank you all so much for tuning in here. Like I said, if you guys want some discount codes, if you guys want to go to some events, it's summer. Great time to go to events. Check out SeatGeek. Link's going to be in the description. If you want to be styling with Huega House, look like some of the celebs do and some of the athletes do, go to hugahouse.com. Get 15% off premium hats, shirts, and cool tote bags. Until next time, have a fantastic day, football fans.